Live from Fox 13 Studios, this is Fox 13 News at 9.
Welcome back. A Davis County family has uprooted their lives and moved for a marijuana extract they believe can end their son's seizures.
They're in Colorado now. Fox 13's Gene Kennedy rejoins us in studio with the next step in their journey. Gene.
Hi there, Bob and Hope. Well, we were hoping to see those first moments when 6-year-old Holden Cromar would experiment with cannabidiol oil. Would it halt his seizures and have the dramatic results that other parents have shared? Instead, his family has found out that getting it, even in Colorado, isn't as easy or as quick as they thought. 2 days after Christmas, the Cromar family moved out of their Farmington home and left loved ones behind for what may be the last hope for their 6-year-old son, Holden.
I'll do anything for him, for any of my kids.
They've moved from Utah to Colorado, the only place they can legally get cannabidiol oil, which nearly cured Charlotte Figge of violent seizures, and the Cromars hope it'll do the same for Holden. But once the Cromars arrived in Colorado Springs,
When we got the news,
She was mad.
I was mad.
Mad to learn Holden may have to wait until October when these specialized marijuana plants are harvested to get the much needed treatment.
It's a roller coaster emotionally, for sure.
There was a hint they could be on a waiting list, but they hoped it wouldn't come to that.
We left in such urgency to get here, to get him on this medicine, and now we have, all this time in between to do what?
Waiting partly because more than 100 other families from across the U.S. have made the same journey in the last year, relocating to Colorado, increasing the demand for CBD oil.
Unfortunately, under the rules and regulations here, we can't just grow however much we want.
The Stanley brothers grow Charlotte's Web, a special breed of marijuana low in THC but high in CBD. And by law, they must assign a certain number of plants to each child. They're tracked through ID numbers.
I couldn't tell you whose patient that is. What patient that is, I'm not supposed to know because that's their private business technically.
Holden will eventually have a dozen plants assigned to him, but first needs a medical marijuana card.
He's been having these seizures since he was little, since he was about 2.
Dr. Margaret Getty is one of 2 physicians required to evaluate Holden. She says 2/3 of the kids she's treated with the CBD oil have seen at least reductions in seizures.
Being able to look at the track record of marijuana in safety and working with the parents and hearing, what their experiences are, I, as a physician, have that confidence that I'm not causing harm.
Still, she thinks more studies are needed, and so does Dr. Francis Fiu, the director of pediatric neurology at Primary Children's Medical Center and University of Utah. He says clinical trials with CBD oil are beginning in the U.S., and in this letter he adds that preclinical data shows promise. He thinks families like the Cromars should have access in Utah.
My colleagues or other people will say scientifically we don't have the evidence to support it. I understand that. People have reservations about side effects. But to be honest, we give these children medications with known severe, dangerous side effects on a daily basis.
To Dr. Fiu, the benefits outweigh the risks. Meanwhile, the Stanley brothers hope to license Charlotte's Web as hemp so they can grow more of it and eliminate that waiting list. And back in Utah, Representative Gage Frower has written a bill which would allow families to get a waiver with their doctor's approval and import products like cannabidiol oil without the fear of state prosecution. So the Cromars can help Holden and return home.
We have our hopes to go back home. We do.
But if the bill doesn't pass, they're prepared for the long haul. And they say other parents who've made the same journey are keeping their faith alive.
Just amazing results with their kids, and we've seen their kids and just seen their emotions and seen kind of the impact that it's had on their families, and so that gives us so much hope.
Now, the Cromars are one of only 2 Utah families who have relocated to Colorado. I mean, as you can imagine, it's very expensive. Most can't afford to do that. And so as a result, you have nearly 2,000 families that are on that waiting list from across the country. And so the hope is, can more of this cannabis be grown, and then maybe distribution channels can open, but it's really all up in the air.
Well, and you bring up an interesting point, because even if the Utah law passes, there's federal law involved here. I mean, could they still bring it across state lines?
It's illegal. I mean, would they be prosecuted? Highly unlikely, but it is for them to transport it across state lines. And so I actually just spoke a few moments ago with Dr. Kevin Sabet. He's a former 3-time White House drug advisor, worked under President Obama, and he thinks that the Utah bill is unconstitutional. He said that flat out. And to him, the answer is this federal program, as he put it, in Utah, where there could be additional research, maybe give these parents access to this oil here and then make it available later in a pharmaceutical form. But there's just so much to all of this, so many layers and so many emotions in this story as well.
And so much uncharted territory as well.
This is really new territory.
Yeah. Gene, thank you very much.
It was day 2 in the preliminary trial for the man police say allegedly